Hello everyone, is the Prophet Michael David, aka Aries, and today is going to be kind of a little bit of a filler video. I am going to explain the thumbnail and I am going to explain the name of this video, of course, and I'm going to show you a couple things, but I don't think it's going to last that long. Alright, firstly, the thumbnail of this video. That is a quote by Sophie Germain. I'm a big fan of hers, and that is my favorite quote about geometry. So Google geometry quotes and look her up if you would like to. And secondly, the title of the video. So this is probably the most direct, logical way that I found that Mersenne primes and what I call magic numbers are related. And that screenshot that I just showed you was one of my OG screenshots from a couple of videos back, where I detailed all the different families of numbers that I had discovered that pertained to the college game. And I gave them all names, like rail numbers, then magic numbers, then progeny, and then the prophet numbers. But we don't have to worry about any of them except the magic numbers. And those are the ones that start with 5, 21, 85, 341, those numbers. So again, these are just the numbers that we're dealing with. And remember, they have the form 4x plus 1. So you can even start at 1. Put that into 4x plus 1. 4x plus 1 equals 5. Then you put that into 4x plus 1. So 5 times 4 plus 1 is 21. And then 21 times 4 plus 1 is 85, and so on and so on. I've also showed that screenshot before, and that's a screenshot straight from a wiki of the first like 8 Mersenne primes and the perfect numbers you can generate from them. And as I've also said before, whenever we're doing this analysis, we always forget the first Mersenne prime 3 and the first perfect number 7 because they're weirdos. They don't conform to the same patterns that the rest of the Mersenne primes and perfect numbers conform to. So, how in the world are those Mersenne primes directly related to my magic numbers? How can you generate one from the other or vice versa? Well, it's actually really easy. All right, it looks complicated, but not really. So the first thing I did was I generated all the possible Mersenne primes across in that top row using the formula that I told you guys about before. You just take the preceding Mersenne prime, multiply it by 4, and then plus 3, and then you'll get the next one, or a possible one. But then you got to still check to see if they're prime. Um, and then I referenced the previous screenshot, and just made the gold ones. Those are actual Mersenne primes. The other ones are just, they're not prime. They're composites. But then I decided to do, a mod test to see what mod lines they were on, specifically what mod 6 lines they're on. Because remember, we know if they're primes, they got to be on the 1 mod 6 line or the 5 mod 6 line by definition. So when I knew 7 and 31 were on the 1 mod 6 line for sure. So, and I told you guys before, to test if anything is on any mod line, but for this case, the 1 mod 6 line, all you have to do is take the number minus 1, divide by 6. If it is a whole number, then that whole number means that that number is the nth number on that mod line. So as you can see on the third row down where I said 1 mod 6 transform, that's all I did. I took the possible Mersenne primes, minus 1 divided by 6, and lo and behold, they kick out numbers 1, 5, 21, 85, 341. They kick out the magic numbers from the college game. They are transformed into the very numbers that you need to win the college game, to win all college games. So then I just knew that if they were magic numbers, then you could also basically mod check them. They would be the 1 mod 4 line instead of the 1 mod 6. So all I kept doing for each number was, because I knew exactly what was going to happen, minus 1 divided by 4, and the numbers got smaller and smaller into smaller magic numbers, and shows like this weird symmetry and everything. But it's show that they are related, obviously, but it shows another way you could generate perfect numbers. So all you have to do is take any magic number, no matter how big, just keep doing 4x plus 1 up until you get a number any size you want to, and then you just multiply it by 6 and add 1 and prime check it. And if it's a prime, that's a Mersenne prime, and it will make a perfect number. And if you do the prime check and it isn't prime, the number is still very much like a perfect number. It still is a number that makes that pyramid stack, three-dimensional pyramid stack. It just means that the number to make that is a composite, that the odd number is a composite. It's not a prime. And so that's why the factors won't equal out to 2 area, or the reciprocal of the factors and everything. That's the only imperfect part about it, is the composite gives it too many or too few factors. And that's about it for that. Just keep staring at that spreadsheet. I guarantee you'll figure it out, and you'll be like, oh, wow, that's so weird. I had no idea that they were related. Yeah, nobody did. Although I do find it interesting that the Collett's conjecture that professional mathematicians absolutely are terrified of and really don't spend a whole lot of time on. So they totally run away from that problem. But perfect numbers, man, they've been trying to figure if there's an odd perfect number or infinite amount of perfect numbers for over 2,000 years. So it's like the one that they held on so tightly, that they so wanted to figure out, was connected to the one they were totally terrified and thought was a waste of their time to even work on. Good thing I'm not a professional mathematician, huh? Lastly, what I'm working on now, or what I'm thinking about going after, is that is also it's almost 300 years old. I think it's 282 years old if I did my math right earlier. Um, but even Euler couldn't do it, and yeah. But I do have some ideas, and it's related to my video that I did on what I called our admorials. So if you're interested, look it up. But I think there might be a real sleek, sophisticated way to prove it using admorials or admorial arguments. But again, I'm in the thinking process right now. Not so much. I haven't actually done any spreadsheets on it yet. All right, longer than I thought it would be, but not even close to 12 minutes. So I'm going to sign off here. I did realize that I know my posture looks weird, but it's just my shirt's crooked or something. But as always, rule number 1, do not touch other people without their consent, aka do not hurt each other. And rule number 2, it's all about honesty. Lies are a tick down, aka try not to lie. All right, I'll talk to you guys later.